Hello, Sister Dragoons, my name is Alex, and welcome to the grand finale of Pokemon LeafGreen. In today's video, we're doing it all. We are taking on the Elite Four and the champion of the Indigo League. Okay, that was all one breath. Okay, this is going to be a fairly longer video, base footage is a little over 35 minutes. And this is unedited, except for voiceover, of course. And I did teach a few Pokemon some moves, and also found a couple in between grinding, like Dragon Claw for Natsu, because Dragon is considered a special type in this generation. Though, ironically, I don't get to use it that much. So, first up on the Elite Four batch is Lorelei. Lorelei specializes in ice types, and really there's not a lot of them in Kanto. Like, there's Shelder, there's Jinx, there's Dugong, there's Lapras, and technically there's also Articuno, but that's a legendary. And typically Elite Four members only have 5 Mons, so, well, there you go. I decided to go for a Brick Break first because Dugong is pretty tanky, and I believe she'd heal up if you hit it with your strongest Thunderbolt or something. So just try to get it above her healing range, and then go with a Thunderbolt if you can. But Dugong, it's not really special, if I'm gonna be honest with you. And Cloyster, we've already seen this son of a bitch. Like, actually, no, I don't think we have. Cloyster is the evolved form of Shelder, actually, and also another theory is that it's like a Ghastly inhabiting a clam or something like that, because of the face being so similar, but I don't really know for sure. Slowbro, he is a version exclusive to the game, specifically for LeafGreen. In fact, for some reason, right, LeafGreen has both it has a Starmie line and a Slowpoke line, so, like, does it want you to use them? Like, I don't know. But Lapras is Lorelei's ace, and I was not expecting her to bring it out this early. Lapras is pretty bulky, so you what's I'm looking for? Unless you know you got, like, insane stats and moves, you're not going to be able to one-shot the thing. But the last Pokemon that she's sending out is Jinx, which is a good time to use Natsu. In fact, it's the only battle in this whole... in fact, it's the only one in this whole match that he's actually good against, because Jinx is not a water type. Because if you noticed, all the rest of Lorelei's team was water type. So, I mean, like, if you got a grass type, just be careful with that. But it shouldn't be that much of a problem. But, you know. Excuse me. So, that was Lorelei, the first of the the first of the Elite Four members, and it's only going to get trickier from here. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Now, with her out of the way, we can go on to our next opponent, which is Bruno. Now, Bruno, in most of the appearances he makes, really kind of gets shafted, because he's supposed to be a fighting type expert, right? Well, he only has 3 fighting types on his team. The Hitmons, and Machamp. He does have 2 Onix, and that's kind of the reason why I sent in Nisi first. But like, this is one of the problems I have. Like, why does Bruno not have a Poliwrath? That is a fighting type. Like, why? It would still have the grass weakness, but it would get rid of the water one. So what the hell were they thinking? And also Primeape. Primeape is another fighting type that he doesn't have. Why? Like, I don't understand. Why were they so, like, why not give Bruno the Pokemon that he is meant to have when there is an abundance of them in the game? Like, freaking the Hitmons, Machamp, Primeape, and Poliwrath. That's like all of the fighting types that are available in this game. So why? Why not have them? Just it just don't make no sense to me. But anyway, so if you have a strong hitting psychic type for Bruno's fighting types, you are more than likely going to win. Machamp is a little bulky. Well, it is a little more bulky compared to most other fighting types, so just be a little careful about that. I tried Confusion because I thought that it could whittle down Hitmonlee, but I wasn't sure of like I think I wanted to get it confused, but it just didn't happen. So I went for a Psychic to just knock it down. So yeah, and again, here comes Onix. Like, seriously, I don't get it. Why Onix? Like, is there some connection, like, saying that he was once the Pewter City gym leader, or like Lorelei was once the Cerulean gym leader? Because both of them have rock and water types respectively. So, like, is that a holdover? Like, I don't know. But anyway, Machamp is Bruno's ace though, and he is really bulky. And I think part of me was hoping that a Psychic would knock down his special defense, which it can do. It's just a low percent rate. Oh, and the move that he did was called Cross Chop. That is a very powerful fighting type move, though it has a good chance to miss. So it's around here that I'm like, okay, you know what? Screw that. I need something. I need to think about. I need to think what's gonna happen next. So part of me was thinking that he could do another Cross Chop, but also I think he has Rock Slide for some coverage. Oh no, wait, he healed. My bad. So I decided to send in Natsu because his flying type does actually help out a lot for this match, but you know, it's just you need to be careful because Bruno likes to have coverage moves. I'm also really not liking Scary Face here. Like, I'm also really not liking Scary Face. Like, seriously, fuck you. Ugh. Sorry about that. Sorry, I had something in my throat. Anyway, so Bruno did give us a little bit of trouble, but it only gets technically more challenging from here. because after Bruno, we have Agatha, who is the Ghost-type master of the Elite Four. However, I think it's more accurate to call her a Poison Master, because that's what a lot of her team is. It's a poison. It's a poison team, not a ghost team. Hang on a second, I need a swig. Okay. So. Now, if you have a fast psychic type, you can definitely take care of most of her team before they even have a chance to hit you. Like, for example, if you have, say, Kadabra on your team. It would be incredibly fast by now, and would also would more than likely have the abilities. Well, it would have access to Confusion, Psybeam, and Psychic. Though what I should have done actually was to try to find a way to get more money, so that way I could trade some cash in and give Shadow Ball to Choji, because as I said many times throughout this playthrough, Ghost is a physical stat. Well, ghosts are physical attacks in this game. So, and like Choji can hit really freaking hard with that. Or I could also have given it to Kratos, I think. But you know, you live and you learn. Am I right? Confuse Ray. This is one of the most annoying things about Golbat and Zubat. Like, it's Confuse Ray. Like, this thing never misses, and it can even hit normal types, even though it's technically a ghost type attack. Like my understanding is that ghost types do not affect normal types. So what the fuck makes Confuse Ray so special? Ugh. Sorry, I got really mad at that. But now we have, but yeah, you've, this is pretty much why you should, but like, the mons that she's been using right now pretty much explains why Agatha is generally considered a poison type rather than a ghost type master. Because that's most of the team. Well, not most of the team, but all of the team. They're all a poison type. Crobat, poison. Arbok, pure poison. And she runs like 3 members of the Ghastly line. 2 Haunter, 2 Gengar and 1 Haunter. And Gengar is a big problem because that thing is very fast. Like, I want to say that it rivals Alakazam in terms of speed, and it's one of the fastest Pokemon in the game. Though, granted, in Generation 3, it's not quite as good because its stat is physical, and, well, it doesn't have that great of physical attack. It's more of a special attacker. But it does have the ability Levitate, so ground immunity. Though there is a chance in the modern games that it doesn't have that, which kind of drags down its usage a little bit, because that's what made Gengar such a menace. Like, even though that it was a poison type, like, its whole, like one of its primary weaknesses could not hurt it. So you would have to either have a dark type, another ghost type, or even a psychic type to gamble with. But, you know, oh, and this is where I got hit so many times with goddamn hypnosis. Like, seriously, most of the time that I try to use hypnosis, it like never works. But when my opponent does it, well, suddenly after like a few, Oh, suddenly it doesn't freaking work. But I don't believe it was with Gengar. I believe it was with her Haunter that this really became a problem. But yeah, just like, ugh. Sorry. Sorry, my throat. But yeah, though I do think that Agatha was the longest fight that I ever had. But oh, and here comes her final Pokemon, Haunter. Though this was not her ace. The ace was actually her second Gengar. This son of a bitch, however, kept spamming his fucking hypnosis on me. Like, seriously, why? Why, of all times, would you want to use hypnosis? Jeez, it's Christmas. Now, I did have full heals on me, so I probably could have done a... like 2 times in a row, this shit happens to me. Like, what the hell? What made Agatha so special in this moment? Like, was there like a scope lens? Newsflash, that wasn't invented until Gen 5. Like, 3 times! Can we go for a 4th? Like, sorry, I freaking hate this one. But in hindsight, what I should have done, like, as I was trying to say, what I should have done was use a full heal on Zeno, and then use Psychic in order to take it out in one shot. But thankfully, Agatha eventually decided to just use Curse, and that allowed Nisi to take it out with a Psychic, which, thank God for that. I mean, Jesus Christ, I freaking hated. Like, I hate that when the NPC gets lucky on this sort of shit. Like, oh my God, it's just so annoying. But that's out of the way, and we can now focus on our final Elite Four member, Lance, the Dragon Master, who ironically doesn't use that many dragons, but uses things that are dragon adjacent. I'll explain that in a sec. Though something that is kind of interesting to point out, like, here I am not moving. I am not moving Red whatsoever throughout all this. That is completely automated. I don't know the point of that. I don't know why that happened, but it at least brought us to Lance, so that's something. Though I will say, I do like how Heart Gold and Soul Silver handled the Indigo Plateau there. I mean, yeah, it was technically a lot different, but, well, it was different members, different typings, but I do think that it had more personality to it. Anyway, so here we have Lance. First up, he starts out with his Gyarados, which is not a dragon, even if you Mega Evolve it. Now, Gyarados in Gen 3 is not very good, because it's water typing. Well, okay, so it is a physical attacker, right? It's not meant for special attacks, which is unfortunate because that's what a lot of water attacks in the game are. So, not particularly recommended. But it does look like a dragon, so it counts to a theme that he's going for. Dragonair, on the other hand, is a full dragon and uses Outrage. God damn it! Outrage is a dragon version of Thrash. Now, dragons are weak to ice types, which is one of the main reasons why I go for Lapras, because one, Lapras can learn Ice Beam, which is incredibly powerful, and is the only one who can learn it naturally. Plus, she gets a same type attack bonus if you use it right. You can. Oh, sorry. I should also mention Aerodactyl. In the Pewter City Museum, there's an amber fossil, and that is how you can get your own Aerodactyl. Just bring it over to the fossil center over on Cinnabar Island, and you should be able to get it. However, it will be at level 5 like most of the other fossils. Giving a little credit to Let's Go, it did come at a more reasonable level. So I can't be too mad at that. But yeah, Aerodactyl is not particularly worth it in this generation. Though he does get kind of a cool Mega in Gen 6, I will say. Now, onto the point that I was trying to make about Dragonair. You can find its pre-evolution Dratini in the Safari Zone, but it's a rare encounter and hard to catch. And it's also a grind to get it to where you want it. Plus, in this generation, it's not that very good because it's apparently more of a physical attacker rather than a special attacker. And dragon attacks are special in this generation. But now we have his ace in the hole, Dragonite. The bane of most Pokemon players everywhere. Especially if you play Gen 1. Oh, what the hell? Wait a second. Is Dragon physical? Is Dragon physical in this generation? Like, what? That's weird. Well, I mean, I guess I was kind of lucky because, like, I didn't have to use a Choji to poison him, which is a good strat that you can use, and Toxic, which is what I gave him, actually chips away more and more health the longer that poison is active on the Mon. However, though, Dragonite is part flying, which adds to its ice weakness. So that's pretty much the reason why Lapras is the OG Dragon Slayer, because you'd have a hell of a time getting through the game without them if you decided to take on Lance. But anyway, well, with Lance out of the way, we just have one more battle to go for, and yeah, that one also, and this next one also took me longer than what it should have been. And I didn't even use like half of my team for this one because there was just a lot of overlap. Though, for the sake of variety, I did want to switch it up a little bit. Oh, excuse me. I decided to put Nisi up first because, mainly because the general team that Blue has, because he is up next, it doesn't change who he sends out first. He always begins with his Pidgeot. Well, no. Yeah, it is Pidgeot. It is Pidgeot, sorry. I kind of got the names a bit mixed up in my head, so... Oh, and this right here, I'm just being a little sort of pedantic with, because I started out, because the team is now in reverse order of being caught. Like, I think you've noticed. Well, sorry. I probably should. Sorry, I didn't mean to get into stuff I wasn't ready to talk about. No, actually, I think it was just because, like, I think it's just because I'm going crazy, to be honest with you. Anyway, so this is Blue's final pose, and this is his final team. First is Pidgeot, like always. And since he's a little faster than, Lapras, he got a little bit of priority. But oh yeah. Sorry. So ice type attacks can freeze. They can freeze a Pokemon, but sometimes it doesn't last very long, or they just like freeze, or they just like break out immediately. But yeah, either way, but Pidgeot is like nothing special right now. And next he's sending out Rhydon, which I thought about switching, but I decided against it. I am technically faster than it, so it's like a ×4 hit anyway. And yeah. Though I really do like Rhydon, I just wish there was a better chance to use it in some of the games, but well, you know. Now here I was a dumbass. And this particular matchup was the reason that I did not. Well, it was the main reason why I stayed on this match for so freaking long, because I thought that maybe Mega Horn could hit first time, but no, it didn't. And then Exeggutor hit me with Sleep Powder. Like, seriously, what the fuck? I thought maybe it would have done. Sleep Powder again, but really, like this. But like, the smarter play would have actually been to. Ironically, it would have been to. Not ironically, sorry. A better choice would have been to use Natsu, actually, because he's faster. And also flying and fire. So, like, seriously. Like, I should have done that first. But in the end, Mega Horn does one-shot it because Psychic is weak to Bug. But for his Alakazam, I decided to go for Choji because, well, it might be an evolved Kadabra, but it's still physically weak. So I decided to go for a Body Slam, while I decided to go for a Psychic. Didn't really do all that much though, thankfully. Like, honestly, I somewhat. No, actually, no. The worst is not over. And I honestly probably should not have done. I should not have done Toxic then. Not only because it didn't do anything, but because of Alakazam's ability, a Synchronize, which inflicts you with the same status effect that it's inflicted with. So you're kind of back to square one, essentially. But with Arcanine, though, yeah, I decided to let Zeno go. I think it was because I thought that I could take it out, but honestly, like, oh great, oh great. I thought that I could get a Hypnosis Dream Eater combo going. At least I thought I did. Oh, wait. I did, actually. Because Hypnosis hit. I guess it was the game telling me, you know what? We'll give you this because you made it far with this technically inferior Psychic type, so we're going to cut you a break. At least I think that's what it's trying to say. Though it didn't really do much. And it woke up, of course. Like, honestly, what I should have done after it was hit with a Dream Eater was to heal up heal up Nisi. Though honestly, like pretty much everything would have been the same, to be honest. Though, oh wait, I think I decided to go for Kratos because Arcanine already used its Intimidate ability, which lowers the opponent's physical stats, and because that Earthquake is now unimpeded, even with a level gap of 4. So, yeah. But now his starter is up next, Blastoise, and and it is Sparky's chance to shine one last time. This is definitely his strongest Mon at level 63. Bare minimum, you want to come into this at level 55, which is what I ground to, and even then, I had some struggle here. Because, goddamn, that Hydro Pump left me to 1 HP. Like, goddamn. But, thankfully, 2 Thunderbolts, and it is a happy day. Oh, glorious day, Kaluk Ale, to quote the Mad Hatter or something. But, just like that, Blue is now defeated, and we are the new champions of the Kanto region, or Kanto, if you want to be like that. Like, seriously, it's Kanto, okay? That's how I knew it. That's how people said it in the. Sorry, I just got a little. Sorry, I got a little heated there. So Oak. Oak comes in and says, hey, good job on winning and beat my grandson. Blue, the reason why that you lost is because you were a dickhead and you didn't trust your Pokemon enough, unlike Red. So, yeah, he kind of roasts his own family, which, like, I don't know how to feel about that, Oak. Like, dude, like, even if he was a dick or not, it's still your family. But it's a hell of a lot better than the more recent rivals, I'll tell you that for free. And with that, we can now enter our team into the Hall of Fame. And this pretty much ends our adventure with Pokemon LeafGreen. Whew. Okay. I need a swig. Hang on. Hang up. So, yeah. This is how you are entered into the Hall of Fame with your team. And honestly, I like that. And honestly, I like how it ends with our boy. The star that you all chose for this one. So, well, anyway. After beating the game, there is a nice little cutscene. Well, technically it's not a cutscene, but it's a nice little credit sequence with some animations. But after this, you can technically catch a lot more Pokemon until you get until you can catch Mewtwo. And there's also a post-game sequence with the Sevi Islands, which is like an extra content Team Rocket adventure, but I personally don't really bother with that. Oh, and it also introduces Johto Pokemon because, well, technically this was part of Generation 3, so you should be able to get those by because it already went up to Hoenn at the time, I think. I don't know. I'm just stammering at this point. Whew. Well, I had a lot of fun with this game, okay? Sorry about the noises. uh, dad's on a workout routine right now, so yeah, he's he needs that for his noise. So, you know, but I did have a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this game, warts and all, because this was a quality Pokemon experience, unlike the garbage tier stuff that we get today. Like, the reason that this worked in something like Sword and Shield didn't was because they actively played into the system. Was because Game Freak played into the Game Boy Advance's limitations. And the bad part is that today they still think that everything is meant for a technically inferior handheld. Like the 3DS was less powerful than the Wii U, just as an example, right? Like the handheld market was not quite as powerful as the mainline consoles. And I think Game Freak is still stuck in that mentality, which is why we get a lot of objectively bad Pokemon games today. And that's why some people go back to these older games to not only somewhat relive their childhood, but to have a better experience now that they're an adult, because they have to think about certain things, like what type is considered a physical attack, what type is considered a special attack. I don't have any of the modern updates like the fairy typing, so how can I take care of the dragons, or what is considered a good counter for such and such, right? Well, and that I think is Fire Red and Leaf Green's strong point, or at least one of them, right? Because, like, I'll be honest, like, I have a bit of nostalgia bias for the game, because this was technically one of the first video games that I owned for myself. It was a Christmas gift along with Fire Red, Emerald, and my Game Boy Advance SP. So, yeah, I have fond memories just trying to just trying to get through the game, starting a new one, yada yada yada. But as time went on, like, it became a lot more difficult to play it because, well, Game Freak and Nintendo just freaking refused to, like, until fairly recently, they did not they chose to not bring this game to any other storefront, especially the digital front. But now that they did, I'm happy to have a means to play this game again and relive my childhood, warts and all. Because sorry. Because I will admit, this game is not perfect, and I did get used to a lot of more modern features, like how the experience share is structured. Like, every Pokemon gains some amount of experience points, or like when you catch a Pokemon, you gain more experience. However, this is still a better title than Let's Go, okay? Like, I'm still not over Let's Go, okay? I am still not over how dog shit Let's Go is, okay? I get that it's baby's first Pokemon game, but it doesn't feel like a Pokemon game. This one does. And as much as I don't want to support Nintendo or Game Freak, I do highly recommend that you play this game because it is a quality Pokemon title. it uses the limitations of the Game Boy Advance to its fullest. However, well, actually, no, I I thought I had something, but I really didn't. So, oh my god, sorry. Well, yeah. If you can find a way to emulate this game on your computer, I would definitely recommend that you play it that way because Nintendo and Game Freak are still not in my good graces because of, well, one, the cutthroat mentality that Game Freak has, and I want, well, not Game Freak, Nintendo, my bad, but Game Freak, I just want them to know that, like, the way that they're doing right now, it's not good for them. Okay, just like when I make, I should probably just make a video on like how Pokemon can be improved, but that'll take a while because I need to make a few assets, and honestly, like, at that point, I should just probably just make my own Pokemon game, but I'm not a programmer, so it's gonna be a challenge. Anyway, so yeah, that will do it for LeafGreen. The I still need to record the finale to Cuphead, and by that I mean the footage. I still got a lot of edits to do for the actual for like what I got, but I also need to finish playing that game. But with what I got now, I can at least get like a couple of weeks worth of videos out, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But thanks for sticking with me for this long. I know this was a bit of a long one, especially compared to Shantae. And I appreciate you guys stopping by and just hearing me ramble. Okay. I guess let's do the outro now. Thank you so very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and comment your thoughts down below. Also, if you're new around here, please subscribe to the channel because we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and every little bit helps out a lot more than you think. Until next time, Social Dragoons, remember, reach for the stars.